Carol was sitting in her kitchen on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday evening. Nothing special. Leftover pasta on the stove. The day had been okay. Not great, not bad. Just okay. Then, on a whim, she put on an old CD, a song from the 90s, one she had not heard in 20 years, and suddenly, without any warning, tears were running down her face. She did not even know why. She was not sad. She was not happy. She was just struck, right at the center of her chest, by something she could not name. She sat there, listening, and thought, what was that? What if that was not just nostalgia? What if something woke up in that moment? Something that had been waiting a long, long time for exactly that song? Today, we are talking about beauty, not as decoration, not as distraction, but as one of the most direct paths there is, straight to the soul. Stay with me. This one is different from what you might expect. Welcome to Spirita Vivo, the podcast that helps you live more deeply, not more complicated. I am really glad you are here today. Let me start with an honest question. When did you last truly notice something beautiful? Not scroll past it, not consume it. Truly notice it. A sunset that took your breath away for just a moment. A song that made you sit in your car in the driveway because you were not ready to go in yet. A page in a book you read 3 times because one sentence was just so true. A moment in nature when everything went quiet all at once. Most of us have these moments, but we keep moving. We say, that was nice. And then we move on. Because somewhere along the way, we learned that this does not really matter. That noticing beauty is a pleasant break, a luxury, but not a real part of life. And I think that is one of the biggest misunderstandings we carry about ourselves. Because beauty is not a luxury. Beauty is a language, and it speaks directly to your soul. Your mind is brilliant. It plans, analyzes, solves problems. It is very good at organizing the world, but it has a limit. There are things it simply cannot translate. Things you know deep down at your very core that have no words. And that is exactly where beauty lives. When a song makes you cry, even though you feel fine, that is not irrational. That is your soul walking through a door your mind cannot open. When you stand in nature, maybe at the ocean, maybe in the woods, and suddenly feel like you know who you are, that is not a vacation feeling. That is recognition. Something deep within you remembering itself. I want to tell you about Linda. Linda is 54. She lives in Denver, Colorado. She is a teacher, a mother of 3, and she has spent most of her life taking care of everyone else. After her divorce 5 years ago, she started painting. Not because she was good at it. She really was not, but because someone told her, just do something with your hands. The first painting was terrible, she says now, laughing. But in the moment she put that brush on the canvas, in that exact moment, she took the first truly deep breath she had taken in years. A real breath. She says, I was not painting to create something. I was painting to find my way back to myself. Maybe you are thinking right now, that sounds lovely, but is that really spirituality? I say, yes. Absolutely. Let us think for a moment about what spirituality actually is. At its core, it is about connection. Connection to yourself, to something larger, to what truly matters. And beauty, real beauty, does exactly that. It interrupts the noise. It stops you. It reminds you that you are more than your to-do list. There's a moment that many people describe in nature, in music, in art that feels like, I have arrived, not somewhere out there, right here, within myself. That is not a coincidence. That is your soul coming home. The ancient Greeks had a word for it, kairos, the sacred moment. The moment when time stops and you are truly, fully alive. Beauty is one of the shortest paths to kairos. Now, let us get practical, because spirituality is not just an idea. It is a practice. The first way, slow down. Beauty does not happen fast. You cannot glance at a sunset and truly experience it. The next time something beautiful enters your life, a moment, a song, a quality of light, stop. Just stop. 10 seconds. 20. A full minute. Let it land. Carol started doing this. Every morning, before she picks up her phone, she walks to the window. She looks out. For 1 minute. Sometimes less. Sometimes more. She says, I do not always know what I'm looking for, but I always find something. The second way, find your form of beauty. Not all beauty is the same. What touches your soul may not be what touches someone else. And that is exactly right. For some people, it is music. For others, it is gardens. For others, it is old architecture, worn wood, the smell of rain on dry pavement. Ask yourself honestly, when did I last feel something truly beautiful? Not see it, but feel it? That is your form of beauty. That is where your soul listens. The third way, create something, no matter how small. You do not have to be an artist. You do not have to have talent. But when you make something with your hands, something beautiful, even if only for you, something shifts. You step out of consumer mode. You become a creator, and that is a deeply spiritual act. Linda still paints today. Once a week, Sunday evenings. The paintings do not hang in galleries, just on her walls. But she says, those 2 hours are the most sacred of my entire week. I want to leave you with one more idea. What moves you is not random. When a certain song hits you, when a certain landscape fills you with wonder, when a certain book will not let you go, that is telling you something about what your soul has been quietly longing for, about the parts of you that have never had a chance to fully bloom, about who you were always meant to be before the world started telling you otherwise. Beauty is a mirror, but not an ordinary mirror, not one that shows you your face, one that shows you your soul. And sometimes on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday evening in a perfectly ordinary kitchen, that mirror shows you something you had almost forgotten. That you are alive, that you are deep, that you are here. Carol listened to the song all the way to the end. Then she sat in the quiet for a little while. She did not make any big plans. She did not have a revelation. But something in her had gone quieter, softer, more real. That is beauty. Not loud, not dramatic. Just true. I want to send you off this week with just one question. What is the most beautiful thing you have truly noticed lately? Not scrolled past, not saved to a folder. Truly noticed. Write it down if you want. Share it with someone you love, or just let it be yours. That is enough. That is more than enough. This is Spirita Vivo. If this episode moves something in you, share it. There might be someone in your life who needs to hear this right now. Until next time, live lightly